Good morning, everybody. Today is Friday, May 1st, 2020. So we get to make a very big change to our calendar today. We are going to change it from April to May. And we need to take down all of these days. Alright, and since it's the beginning of a month, it is going to start on the 1st, and our 1st is starting on a Friday. So, do you think I should start it down here? No, not in the middle of the month. I need to start it at the very top, right? So I'm going to put my 1st right at this top Friday. And we know today is Friday. Tomorrow, or yesterday was Thursday, and tomorrow is going to be Saturday. It is still 2020 and our season is still spring. If you are writing your date at the top of your worksheets, you can start writing it out as 5-1-2020. We're using the 5 now because April is the 5th month of the year. So that is how we'll write that out. This is our new calendar, and today for our theme we are going to do a reptile word search, and you guys did so well with this before. So what you're going to be looking for is snake, reptile, scaly, lizard, turtle, egg, alligator, gecko, and dinosaur. And remember, it can go from this way over across, it can go backwards, it can go up, it can go down, and it can go diagonally or up diagonally. So my suggestion is when you do this, since it's in blocks like this, grab a light colored pencil, like a yellow or a green or something like that, and shade in the boxes of the word instead of circling it, because then you might kind of get lost with all the words. And since it's Friday, we are going to read our book. This is going to be Miles and Miles of Reptiles in honor of all the reptile work that we've been doing. And I'll hold this off until the end of our review of what we're going to do today. Our special today is going to be Spanish. We just have Spanish and that's it. For math, we're going to continue working on those videos in the workbook and on Boom. I've been seeing a lot more assignments turned in for math, and that just makes me so happy. I love seeing the work come in and seeing how you're doing and seeing how well you're picking up these concepts and putting it into the workbook and showing me that you know what you're doing, and it's been amazing. Remember, if you want to come in for a meeting on Zoom, I'm meeting with each group twice a week. I'll be meeting with my friends working in the Yellow Book on Mondays and Wednesdays at 3 to 3:30, and my friends working in the Red Math Book on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 3 to 3:30. So if you want to come in, if you have any questions about anything that we've been covering in math, if you want a little bit of extra review, or if you need that time to work on it because these videos aren't working too well for you. So whichever way, just come on in. You can pop in at any time in that time frame and I'll be there. And that is, once again, Mondays and Wednesdays for the Yellow Book, and Tuesdays and Thursdays for the Red Book. For language arts, we are going to be working in our Your Turn book some more. We're going to be reading our phonics book, and we are going to be working on our handwriting as we review these long vowel sounds. So our vowels normally make 2 sounds. We have the short sounds and the long sounds. So our vowels are A, E, I, O, and U. The short vowels will be A for A, E for E, I for I, A for O, and for you. Now our long vowels are super easy to remember. They just say the name of the vowel. So A will say A, E will say E, I will say I, O will say O, and U will say U. So sometimes when you're sounding out a word, or when you're reading the word and you're trying to figure out if it makes that long or short sound, you need to slow it down so that you can really hear the name of that vowel. A lot of the times we do have a sneaky E making that sound. So normally if you see a word like C-U-B-E, if we see a word like this and we have a vowel, a consonant, and this E, we know that we have that sneaky E, and he's going to be silent because he's coming around to scare this U. And when he scares the U, he makes it shout its own name, and it goes, U! So it'll go cube, cube. So normally if we see that E at the end and there's a vowel in the middle, it's probably going to be saying its own name. So keep an eye out for that. And then we'll be meeting at 1 o'clock for that meeting. So here is our book, Miles and Miles of Reptiles, all about reptiles, by Tish Rabe, illustrated by Aristides Ruiz and Joe Matthew. I'm the cat in the hat in my crocodile car. We're off to find reptiles wherever they are. We'll find lizards and turtles, then travel for miles to see snakes, alligators, and real crocodiles. There are thousands of reptiles. I'll show some to you. Your mother will not mind at all if I do. Reptiles breathe air, most lay eggs on land. Some slither, some swim, some run on hot sand. Some reptiles have teeth, and some reptiles have tails. All reptiles have skin that is covered in scales. First, let's meet some lizards. Count them and you'll find more lizards than all other reptiles combined. Lizards have eyelids that open and close. Most lizards you'll see on each foot have 5 toes. When lizards are hungry, some things that they eat are plants, insects, snails, and other types of meat. There are all kinds of lizards. Would you ever think that there is a lizard that is known as a skink? This is a glass lizard. It looks like a snake, but call it a snake and you'll make a mistake. The world's biggest lizard is here on our wagon. It can grow 10 feet long. It's a Komodo dragon. Reptiles are cold-blooded, but I have been told this does not mean reptiles have blood that is cold. It means that their temperature changes a lot. They get cold when it's cold, they get hot when it's hot. How do lizards get warm? Why, thank you for asking. They lie in the sun, and that is called basking. Meet my friend the chameleon. He's hiding right here. He changes his color when danger is near. When he's scared, he turns dark and he stays out of sight, but his colors turn bright when he's ready to fight. A chameleon's tail has a powerful grip. It holds on to things so that it won't slip. One eye can look one way while the other looks the other. One eye looks at me, one looks at my brother. On the Galapagos Islands is where we'll see something new. Iguanas, they're lizards. Here's what they do. They swim in the waves, and when they are done, they crawl on the rocks and get warm in the sun. They have glands that strand salt from salt water, and then they sneeze the salt out from their noses again. These lizards are geckos. Aren't they pretty? They live in the desert, rainforest, and city. They have pads on their feet that are perfect for gripping. They can climb up a wall and even glass without slipping. Why are they named gecko? Think one and I know. Some chirp and squeak and it sounds like gecko. Come meet some snakes. When they move on the ground, the scales on their skin help them slither around. A snake's jaw is loosely attached on each side. This means it can open its mouth very wide. A snake smells with its tongue. He is showing us how. See it flick in and out? He is smelling right now. How do snakes avoid danger so they can survive? Here are some things that help snakes stay alive. Snakes may have stripes, spots, or rings on their skin. They can hide in plain sight. Their skin helps them blend in. Some, like a vine snake, can fool you and me. It looks like a vine hanging down from a tree. If you hear a rattlesnake's tail start to rattle, it means I might bite you, so you better skedaddle. A cobra is a snake that's not very polite, and that is because of its poisonous bite. When it gets angry, a cobra spreads out its big hood. If you see it, you'll know things are not looking good. Fangs hang from its jaw and punch holes in the skin. Then a poison called venom begins to flow in. Now meet the turtles. Each one has a shell. This hard shell protects it and does so quite well. Turtles heat up in a nice sunny spot, then slide into the water when things get too hot. Turtles are toothless, so they cannot chew. They swallow food whole. That's all they can do. Here is a tortoise. I happen to know this reptile eats grass, and it moves very slow. It looks like a turtle, but I understand a turtle lives in the water and tortoise on land. About the tortoise, I discovered one thing. Each year of its life, its shell grows a new ring. Turtles have 4 legs, but sea turtles like these have flippers to swim through the water with ease. They lay eggs on the land, and each mom somehow knows which beach she was hatched on, so that's where she goes. When the babies are hatched, the shells on their backs are so soft, they are helpless if someone attacks. We measured these babies. They're so very small. Their shells are just 3 inches long. That's all. On the Florida coast in a swamp or lagoon, you may see a crocodile swimming by soon. Crocodiles have sharp teeth and they walk on 4 legs. Their feet have sharp claws. Their young hatch from eggs. There are crocs that can eat till they are filled up, and then it could be months, even years, before they eat again. Alligators and crocodiles look alike, as you see. That's because they belong to the same family. We looked at them closely, and here's what we saw. The gator's teeth hang over its lower jaw. They both live near water, and these reptiles glide by swinging their powerful tails side to side. If you look at their heads like we did side by side, a croc's head is thin and a gator's is wide. They mate in the water, then we understand the female comes out to lay eggs on the land. She digs a deep nest, then she lays her eggs in it, laying 60 or so, about 1 every minute. When the babies are hatched, this is how small they are. Each one weighs as much as think one's candy bar. Reptiles are everywhere. Just look, you might see one down on the ground or high up in a tree. They come in all shapes and all colors and sizes, and you will discover they're full of surprises. The end. So I hope you enjoyed our book, Miles and Miles of Reptiles, and I will see you all at 1. Bye, guys.